It's our Gab's birthday today, so we're making a classic creme brulee, her favourite. Creamy, smooth, with a crunchy bit of sugar on top. Let's get it. First things first, we want to warm up your dairy. We're going to take cream and milk into the pan. Add to that one soaked and scraped vanilla pod. Now when we bring this up to the heat, we want it coming up at a gentle temperature. Medium high, medium's just right. We don't want to scorch the milk. We don't want to catch the dairy on the bottom of the pan. And that's just going to come up to a low simmer. We want it just under simmering, about 85 degrees, just to really extract the most oils out of that vanilla and start to infuse that flavour through. So with the custard, you need milk or cream and you need eggs. You need to cook it well with a bit of sweetness and a flavour of your choice. Could this be cardamom? Yes. Could this be cinnamon? Yes. Could it be citrus zest? It could. It could be anything you want. You could take it wherever you want to go. I'm doing a classic vanilla because that's our Gab's favourite. So 5 of those straight into the bowl. When I take my egg yolks out of the yolkered white, I use my fingers. I get my hands in there and I let it fall through my fingers, collect the yolk and then cut off the rest of the white. So I'm left with that pure, proud egg yolk. You can save your egg whites separately in the fridge. They'd be great for meringues, great for mousses, great for any other desserts you can think of. But always keep them in your fridge. Now I need my sweetness. That comes in the form of sugar. The vanilla's in with the cream, heating up and infusing slowly. We just get the sugar in, and as soon as the sugar hits those egg yolks, we whisk. We don't want the sugar to cook in the egg yolk, so we whisk it in to disperse and dissolve it. You can see the steam starting to come off of the pan. I'm gonna turn it off. It's had 1 or 2 little bubbles. When we're nice and steamy and the vanilla is filling the room, we can pour over the egg yolks. And you gently whisk as you pour over and incorporate that milk, cream and vanilla. We have got a little bit of foam on top, but to eradicate any of that foam getting into our creme brulee, we're going to use one of these. What did you say? If you're at home, stick it in a tall measuring jug and just skim that foam off with a spoon. Now, the cooking. We've got our oven preheated at 150 degrees fan. I've got a deep tray here with a cloth in the bottom so my ramekins don't move and float about, and the ramekins in. I'm gonna boil some water. Now the water's boiled, pour it into the tray. You're looking to fill up the tray about halfway up the ramekins. While the water's coming up to the boil, we fill our molds. Right to the edge of the ramekin and fill it up from the side so you get the least amount of agitation and the least amount of bubbles forming on top of your creme brulee. Almost like you're pouring a pint, really. It's hot, it's steamy. Now we need to create our atmosphere, our steamy cave for these custards to slowly cook and bake. For that, we use a bit of tin foil. Roll that over the top and then you fold. And you try and make it as tight as you can on one side, turn the tray around and then pull and tighten on the other side. And that way you get a really tight, sharp tin foil that encases that steam and creates a little atmosphere in there. It's gonna go in the oven for about 20 minutes. Voila! These custards have cooked. Now the way to check a good creme brulee when it comes out of the oven is give them a little wobble. These have come out of the oven, we've rested them for 5 minutes and then they've gone in the fridge. These are cold. We have our sugar ready and we have our blowtorch ready. Now, to get a brilliant crust, a glass-like crack on top of that creme brulee, you wanna sprinkle your sugar over and be generous. 1 solid layer of sugar all over the top of that creme brulee. It's a bit hilly, it's a bit uneven. Just give it a little shake and disperse that sugar out. Then we get a blowtorch on. We lick the top of the sugar with that blowtorch and it's starting to melt and it's starting to bubble up and you want to get it to a stage where it's almost liquid-like on top, and you do that just by bouncing in and out with the blowtorch. And if one part is getting a little bit too hot, just stop doing it and then go back in and even out and spread with the blowtorch that sugar across the whole of the brulee. And it will go black and it will go bubbly and it might set on fire a little bit, but don't worry. The sugar and the milk, that creamy balance inside of the creme brulee will offset the bitterness from the sugar on top. So make it dark, make it shiny. If you don't have a blowtorch, just get a really, really hot grill and stick these under with a good even layer of sugar for about 2 to 3 minutes. And clean the outside of that ramekin. It will dissolve the caramel and come right off. It's best to do this while it's still warm. Don't burn your fingers, but the heat will just help lift that caramel off the outside of the rim. Now when you've caramelized your sugar, it should be rock hard. And that's perfect so you get the iconic crack when you go through that creme brulee and extract that beautiful creamy custard. All that's left to do now is dig in. Happy birthday, darling.
Thank you.
our set custard. On top, our caramelized sugar, our dark, deep bitterness. Classic creme brulee. And thank you.